Course, I would love to. In the top right, we have the green Protoss from the Netherlands. So he's the second Dutchie here. He is Grubby. And his purple opponent from Team Esports Club Visualize. He's Winter. Swedish player, if I'm not incorrect. He plays on the Dutch team Esports Club Visualize, but seems to be right in his place right there.
You may actually know this. Is this the same Winter that often posts on StarCraft Reddit? Winter StarCraft does a lot of streaming.
I'm pretty sure he is. I'm not that familiar with any other Winters.
I can't think of it either.
Of play. Yeah.
And I believe Winter, who posts on that Reddit, also randoms a hell of a lot. So it probably is the same person, but do correct us if we are mistaken.
Yes, please do, because it would be embarrassing otherwise. Giving Twitter shoutouts to the wrong player in case he wins.
Either way, we're only repping everyone. That's all we're managing to achieve. So, for the moment, just a quick scout from Winter. Make sure that no proxy gateways. Smart move. Yonsu, 2-player spawn map. You never know what could happen.
Such an early drone scout. Very unusual, especially on this map. Yeah, of course, a player like Grubby, you don't really know what to expect from him, because like I mentioned, he's not afraid to cheese. You know, if he feels he can win the game like that, then he will do so. And we have the gateway build. Whoa, okay. I agree with that statement, good sir.
I think I just concisely described what everyone's thinking with that. But Proxy Hatch, it's about Cat really likes. It is very effective if it isn't seen. And it's frustrating. Grubby probably not going to notice this for quite a while, considering he has, or he's likely to get down the Cybercore before he goes for that Nexus.
Yeah.
Is he going to move down? No. Yep. Okay, now he knows.
Yeah, he was going to build that Zealot regardless. So now he just won't be cancelling it, and yeah, he should probably go for a scout though. Like, I think in this stage it's crucial to know what timing the pool has, and if he's getting a third or not. So I'm kind of surprised he's pulling this probe back.
Okay, just quickly, we have been corrected. It's not the same Winter that we thought it was. So apologies for that. Okay, Zealot coming down now. Grubby just working away at this hatchery. Gonna be slowly picking it apart, but it's gonna finish up. It's gonna start gooping up your natural base, spreading that creep, and now delay Grubby's natural base.
Oh, actually pulling probes.
Considerable amount of time.
Yeah, so this is a massive nuisance here for Grubby. I'm not sure how used he is to playing against this, but on the back of this, Winter is just happily macroing away, you know, getting his own natural taken, of course a bit delayed compared to what he usually would be getting, but not too much of a deficit for him, and actually gets a drone inside, and Grubby microing frantically to kill it with the Mother Core, and he gets it.
Was he able to see the second gas? No. So that's what you're really looking for there. If there's a second gas, you know that your opponent is switching things up in order to go for some tech. No second gas means it's going to be an expansion down as soon as possible, but with creep this far out, it'll be about 45-ish in-game seconds before that Nexus is able to be placed.
I like this move by Grubby. He kills the natural, and I mean the proxy hatch, and of course goes for the immediate counterattack with the Mothership Core and the two Zealots. By the time he gets to the natural, he actually has enough energy to recall in case of emergency. But Winter is actually really anticipating this. He's getting a spine crawler, he has a few links out, adding on more, getting queens. So this aggression from Grubby will not be doing a whole lot, I'm afraid.
No, the spine is a really smart move. The Lings, obviously alone, would struggle to defend this, but Grubby gonna fall back. Neither player really where they'd want to be, but brilliant play by Winter here, using a couple of those Lings will pick off a pylon.
Yeah, indeed. Grubby actually having a very hard time dealing with this aggression, it seems, taking significant economic losses as well as in terms of infrastructure. The first drones are already mining at Winter's natural. Grubby not necessarily behind on workers, even ahead in that fact, but still the lack of a second base, you know, it can really be annoying.
The lack of the second base, but also the supply block. That was a good 30-second supply block for Grubby. Meanwhile, Winter's just been able to sit there doing what he wants to do, and Winter's macro is really efficient. He's keeping his resources low, whereas Grubby, because of a lack of that second base, is actually banking up far more than you'd ever want to be doing at about 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I like the addition of the additional queens here at the front. Going up to 4 queens off a 2 base. It really means that whatever early game aggression Grubby will be doing as a form of a counterattack isn't really going to do anything. Grubby gonna try and pick off this Overlord in his own main, but I don't think he'll be successful. It's actually gonna be quite close if he micros it correctly. Stalker
With the Stalker will die.
Yeah, but only just barely. That was a cool little moment. And yeah, from this moment on, it's going to be a pretty standard macro game. Zerg already catching up to the Protoss in terms of worker count. Of course, there is a pretty early Rubble Bay actually for Grubby. He really needed that, and adding on, at least one sentry. You think he'll go all in off this?
It'll be difficult for him to go all in, but it's very hard to say. And the reason it's so awkward to say is because both players have had significant blocks to their normal timings. A normal 8-minute time, we would not see both players only just have secured up their natural bases effectively. So it's really down to the question, have both players been delayed by a similar amount?
Yeah, of course it is Yonsu, which is, as far as I'm aware, still the #1 map for the good old Immortal Sentry all-in. We have a Forge adding on +1 as well as additional Immortals. And of course he is adding on double gas at this point, so he might transition into additional text. And the War Prism pretty much gives it away. This is
okay.
This is Nadiwa's 2-base all-in.
Additional gases being additional gates rather being taken now, and yeah, with 4 additional gates and that War Prism, it's an all-in. At least it's a very aggressive play.
So here's yeah.
Winter just needs to see this.
Yeah, he does. Still has no way of seeing this. Taking out these Zealots at the front is actually quite useful. Interesting to note here is that he's actually finishing up his leg quite early. He's mining double gas off of both base, so this does look like a 2-base muta build, but actually he's adding on an infestation pit. So swarm hosts? Huh.
It'd be an interesting addition. Generally, if you suspect an Immortal Sentry play, you rush out the Hydra Den. It's the best response to it. Ling Hydra versus Immortal Sentry goes in the Zerg's favor, especially after the Hydra buff. But just a lot of Lings, a lot of Spines. But Swarm Hosts don't really either make sense because of the +1 melee attack.
Oh, big warping in the natural along with the Immortal drop. Actually goes for the Extractors. I like this move so much, and now he's training quite cost efficiently. But his warp resistance takes a lot of damage, and he wants to pick up these Immortals at the last possible moment. But it also doesn't want to take too much damage on the Warp Prism, and actually the Queens, they snipe it, so that's a huge win there for Winter, despite the cost. Good.
These 2 Immortals backing themselves into a corner. Spine Quarter is there and going to start poking away, but Immortals very efficient at dealing with Spines. The second gas of the natural, now forwards. We've got Grubby pushing towards the front, but there's still 3 Spine Quarters. A lot of Lings will spell the end to these Immortals. And Grubby being shut down.
Whoa, those force fields. No, actually, they're not that good. And he needs to recall right now. No, he throws down a time warp. I'm not sure why. Okay, he warps in a lot of Zealots really close by, but these sentries, they still fall.
There's a huge number of Zealots. Swarm Hosts are on the way. But the Spines are not going to be that efficient against so many Zealots. This is the right call from Grubby, getting all of these down. Is he going to be able to make it work?
Oh, I think he is. These Zealots are getting a pretty good concave with the +1 upgrades. The spine count is actually not that high, and there is an Observer here. So he will be able to get on top of these Swarm Hosts, and the Zealots are just going to town here. Oh my god.
The trouble with Spines is they're not that great against Zealots. Zealots can tank up their damage so well.
Yeah,
the Swarm Hosts are going to buy time, but there's the Observer, and there's just not enough Swarm Hosts to really be that scary.
No, there isn't. I think the final... no, there's still 1 Queen left. Otherwise, his Mothership Core would have killed a lot of Swarm Hosts like he is currently. Grubby is forced to retreat at this point. Looking at the economic situation, it's actually rather similar. With, of course, the fact that Swarm Hosts are quite a decent tech choice for Zerg, despite the fact he's only mining gas off of 1 base.
A counterattack now looking to come through for Winter, but Grubby fully walled off. Will not allow that to go through. Continuing on with the drop though, the Immortal is coming through, the Observer in a great position. Gonna just grant vision of these Swarm Hosts, and being armored units, the Immortals highly effective up against them.
Oh, as long as he controls them properly, that is quite true. Final Queen is about to fall. There's still one in the main, but this Mothership Core is actually now a significant fighter in this battle. Immortal falls, so that's quite clumsy. But big warp in right on top of these foremost, and I feel Grubby, he's in a perfect position now.
That was a cute little move. Grubby actually surrounded the Swarmhost so they can't even retreat. Bold play, but a very effective one.
Very bold, very effective. The natural is almost undefended, just a single Swarmhost in the Spore Crawler there. Once the Observer moves in that direction, he actually, this will spell doom for winner. Lots of Zerglings and drones now being pulled. A big Zealot Warp in actually acts as a force field of his own. And these Zealots are going to go to town on what rests of this Zerg army.
Very nicely done here by Grubby. Drones retreating out, but unlikely to get there in time. The Queen also getting harassed by the Zealots. And Grubby's usage of this Warp Prism has been spectacular in this game.
He lost the first one though, let's be honest about that. And GG. Wow, a really nice play there by Grubby. Very stylish, I have to admit.